Good morning, friends. We've had a special story yesterday, and I wanted to share it with you, and I apologize I didn't get it up yesterday for you to see. The story is called Each Kindness. Each Kindness. It's by Jacqueline Woodson. It's a very special story. There are some things I love about it. There are some things that make it a little bit different from usual books. That winter, snow fell on everything, turning the world a brilliant white. Just like us, right? It's been snowy. One morning, as we settled into our seats, the classroom door opened and the principal came in. She had a girl with her, and she said to us, "This is Maya." Maya looked down at the floor. I think I heard her whisper, "Hello." We all stared at her. How's she looking like she's feeling? We thought she looked like she was feeling a little bit shy or nervous, right? Do you think it will help if they all stare at her? When you feel shy or nervous, it does not help when everybody looks at you, right? Her coat was open, and the clothes beneath it looked old and ragged. Her shoes were spring shoes, not meant for the snow. A strap on one of them had broken. Oh, well. We thought if she just moved, maybe she just hasn't unpacked her other shoes yet. Or maybe those are her favorite shoes. Or maybe she doesn't have any other shoes. These are things we thought maybe, right? Our teacher, Miss Albert, said, "Say good morning to our new student," but most of us were silent. Not even a good morning? The only empty seat was next to me. That's where our teacher put Maya. And on that first day, Maya turned to me and smiled, but I didn't smile back. I moved my chair, myself, and my books a little further away from her. Oh, isn't that terrible? It's not kind at all. When she looked my way, I turned to the window and stared out at the snow. And every day after that, when Maya came into the classroom, I looked away and didn't smile back. Is that going to help her feel welcome? Is that a kind thing to do to someone who's brand new? No, not at all. My best friends that year were Kendra and Sophie. At lunchtime, we walked around the schoolyard, our fingers laced together, whispering secrets into each other's ears. I don't really like secrets. We talked about this yesterday in our class. I don't really like secrets because secrets make people feel left out. Sometimes if you're doing a surprise, something nice for someone, you want to keep it a secret. Or sometimes if you don't want to embarrass someone and you want to tell them like something like, "Your shirt is on backwards," you might try to tell them quietly, but that doesn't sound like what they're doing. It sounds like they're just walking around whispering. That makes everybody else feel left out and wonder, why are they whispering? What are they saying? One day, while we were near the slide, Maya came over to us. She held open her hand to show us the tiny jacks and tiny red ball she'd gotten for her birthday. "It's a high bouncer," she said. But none of us wanted to play. So Maya played a game against herself. Oh, she doesn't have anyone to play with. Isn't that sad? I might not have a buddy bench, right? That afternoon, when we got back into the classroom, Maya whispered to me, "Bet you can't guess who the new Jacks champion of the world is." Behind me, Andrew whispered, "Chloe's got a new friend. Chloe's got a new friend." "She's not my friend," I whispered back. Oh, how's that going to make Maya feel? She can't even say she's her friend. She can't even talk to her. It's kind of sad, isn't it? The weeks passed. Every day we whispered about Maya. Not nice. Laughing at her clothes. What? Her shoes, the strange food she brought for lunch. Just not kind. Some days Maya held out her hand to show us what she had brought to school. A deck of cards, pickup sticks, a small tattered doll. Whenever she asked us to play, we said no. It's not nice at all, is it? The days grew warmer and warmer. The pond thawed. Grass began growing where snow had once been. One day, Maya came to school wearing a pretty dress and fancy shoes. But the shoes and the dress looked like they belonged to another girl before Maya. What? Okay, first of all, how can you look at somebody's clothes and tell that somebody else wore them? Can you tell if Mrs. Bjorkman had this dress first? Or if Mrs. Miller gave me this sweater? No, you cannot tell that by looking at somebody's clothes, not unless maybe you saw Mrs. Bjorkman in this dress, right? And second of all, yay for her, no? If you have a big sister or a big brother or a cousin or a friend that when they outgrow their clothes, they give them to you, doesn't that just mean you have like double the clothes? Isn't that like a bonus?
Yeah.
Why is that a bad thing? Sharing clothes and having clothes that someone shares with you is like the awesome part of life. Means you get twice as many clothes. Silly. I don't know. I have a new name for her, Kendra whispered. Never knew. Everything she has came from a secondhand store. I'm starting to think I have a new name for these girls. Never nice. Who cares if somebody wore her clothes before? As long as she's comfortable and feels good about herself. Ay, ay, ay. We all laughed. Oh, joy. So this is the part I don't like about this book because I don't like to see or hear about unkindness. Maya stood by the fence. She was holding a jump rope, but did not come over to ask us if we wanted to play. Oh, it sounds like she's giving up, right? After a while, she folded it double, rolled the ends around each hand, and started jumping. She jumped around the whole schoolyard without stopping. She didn't look up once, just jumped, jumped, jumped. Sounds like she's given up trying to make friends with them. She's had enough. The next day, Maya's seat was empty. In class that morning, we were talking about kindness. Good. Miss Albert had brought a big bowl into class and filled it with water. We all gathered around her desk and watched her drop a small stone into it. Tiny waves rippled out, away from the stone. This is what kindness does, Miss Albert said. Each little thing we do that's nice goes out like a ripple into the world. Then Miss Albert let us each drop the stone in as we told her what kind things we had done. Joseph had held the door for his grandmother. Kendra helped change her baby brother's diaper. Even mean old Andrew had done something. I carried teacher's books up the stairs, he said, and Miss Albert said it was true. I stood there holding Albert's rock in my hand, silent. Even small things count, Miss Albert said gently. But I couldn't think of anything and passed the stone on. Oh dear, not one kind thing? It's not a good start, huh? Maya didn't come to school the next day, the day after that. Each morning I walked to school slowly, hoping this would be the day that Maya returned, and she'd look at me and smile. I promised myself this would be the day. I smiled back. Each kindness, Miss Albert had said, makes the whole world a little bit better. Oh, that's good to hear, right? It sounds like she's going to make a better choice and try to be kind. But Maya's seat remained empty. And one day, Miss Albert announced to the class that Maya wouldn't be coming back. Her family had to move away, Miss Albert said. Then she told us to take out our notebooks. It was time for spelling. Oh. That afternoon, I walked home alone. When I reached the pond, my throat filled with all the things I wished I would have said to Maya. Have you ever had that happen when you feel super sad and you're fighting back tears and you get that lump in your throat? Kind of hurts, right? It's like all the not so good choices or all the sad feelings just sort of get stuck right there in your throat. It's happened to me before. Each kindness I had never shown. I threw small stones into it over and over, watching the way the water rippled out and away, out and away. Shh. Haley. How's she feeling? Very sad, right? She's probably fighting back her tears. She feels terrible for what she did. Like each kindness done and not done, like every girl somewhere holding a small gift out to someone and that someone turning away from it. But here's the sad part. Can she fix it now? Can she turn it around and make a better choice? I watched the water ripple as the sun set through the maples, and the chance of a kindness with Maya became more and more forever gone. She can't fix it. So, I like this book because it has a really important message that we need to choose to be kind. That kindness is important and it matters. And by being kind to other people, you can change the world around you. And then that world will grow and that world will grow. And we can spread kindness into the world. You, little old you, can make the world a better place just by choosing kindness. All right. Shh. We did something special after we read this story. We had a heart. Mrs. Bjorkman cut it out. Like, you know how in the book they put stones into the water? I asked each person to take the heart and crumple it a little bit. And then they would pass it on to the next person and they would crumple it. And then they would go wash their hands. And then the next person would crumple it and go wash their hands. And the next person would crumple and go wash their hands until every person in our class had crumpled the heart that Mrs. Bjorkman made for me. Okay, we did this yesterday in class. And then I took it back. When everybody's hands were clean, we sat back down. I said, okay, now can you fix my heart? And they said, sure. So a few friends put it down and got a little bit smoother. They tried to flatten it out. But can we ever make all of these wrinkles go away forever? Will it ever be the same as when Mrs. Bjorkman first cut out that heart for me? We can flatten it out. No way. We can flatten it out. We can make it look much flatter, but you will still be able to see the wrinkles on my heart. That's what words do. When you use unkind words, you leave a wrinkle on somebody's heart. And you can say you're sorry, and that's a nice thing to do, but it doesn't make the wrinkle go away. That wrinkle's there. So we talked about how we were going to be kind. We're going to choose kindness. We're going to stop before unkind words sneak out. And we're going to try not to use our unkind words and put a wrinkle on somebody's heart. And we hung up the wrinkly heart in our classroom to remind us to choose kindness. We're not going to wrinkle anyone's heart. We're going to use kind words and make kind choices and make the world a better place. And we hope you'll join in with us. I hope you enjoyed this story. I know it was a little sad, but I hope we can learn the lesson and we can make better choices. And then someday, maybe we can write our own book about changing the world one kind word at a time.